And these days, it's like there's different forms of talking. It's not just like, oh, hello, let me order Domino. It's not like that. It's like, that's a form of talking, right? And then listening, right? Listening. I imagine your parents looking at your face while you're listening on your face like, oh my gosh, no, she didn't. She posted that. And talking and listening, you guys. We're like, like an hour passes by like that, but what happens with our prayer life with God where we start out excited and then we get bored? And then I don't know about you, but like, I've read somewhere in an article that people actually have nervous breakdowns when they leave their phone at home. Or if they lose their phone. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like coming out of the house without wearing underwear. It's like, oh my gosh, like what do I do? Like, oh my god, like I gotta go back. I mean, I remember making U-turns, going to work, many times when I forget my phone. We're so, you guys, we put God in a box, and at first we're like totally dependent upon Him in prayer, right? Like when something bad happens, we're like, please God, please God, like help me. Like we're totally dependent upon Him. Maybe when you first receive Him into your life, you're like, oh my God, I love reading His Word, I love talking to Him. But then there's this thing called independence. We would never be independent from our phone. I mean, try going like 3 weeks or even a week without your phone. You think you can be independent from your phone? But how is it that we're like independent of our prayer life with God? How does that make sense? I want us to think about Jesus. He's like our human example. I just love seeing stuff in the Old Testament where Jesus, His Father, said and did. And then when the Son of God came, like He did and said the same things. It's like beautiful. Remember, all truth is parallel in this book. It's not like, oh, the New Testament. And these days I'm like, why do they call it the New Testament? It's just like in our human language, it like makes the Old Testament kind of like, and it's not. It's all 66 books have equal weight, equal value. It's the same God who has His writings. Repeat. And so when we look at Jesus, I'm like, oh my gosh. The number of times that even Jesus prayed. You're like, wait. So, isn't it a little weird that we give our life to Jesus, but we only pray at certain times and kind of put Him in a box? Our prayer life is like before meals, maybe only in a church building. And when it's really bad, like when someone's really sick or about to die, or like, you have diarrhea for 5 days, and you're like, God, please help me. But then when we look at Jesus, He's talking and listening to God all the time. I'm like blown away at the number of times and the specific occasions when He's praying. If you look in Mark chapter 1, it says He went to a desolate place to pray. A desolate place to pray. Wow. You guys, when was the last time you maybe went into a closet? Maybe you went out into the woods, like alone. Not like too deep, because the mommy and daddy can call on you, but a place where there's no distraction to pray. When was the last time that you did that? I've been trying this. You guys, I just want to be totally honest with you guys. I feel like I'm reading this book again for the first time and trying a lot of these things that it says in here for the first time. And so, there's a park about a 10-minute walk from my house. So, in the mornings and at night, I take this book with me, and then I walk down the trail. And there's a little spot with like kind of secluded, so it's not totally desolate. There's people like jogging by, and so there's a little kind of spot in the corner that not a lot of like less people pass by, and there's a little bench with a place where you can kind of stretch. And it's parked in Falls Grove near the Thomas Farm Community Center or something like that. Anyway, so I go there almost every morning and evening to pray. just spend time with God. And I go there and I take this book, and then I go and I sit there and I stretch, and sometimes I kneel down and I have this word open, and it's like outside in public. At night there's like a big like a street light type of thing, so I can still see the word as I'm opening it, and I read a little scripture, and then I talk with him. I'm like, God, you said this, and so and I'm listening and I'm praying, and then one time, occasionally, people walk by with their dogs, or they jog by, and every time this just shows I'm like, maybe I still have kind of my prayer life with God, like I still have him in a box. And every time someone's passing by, I'm like distracted right in that moment. I'm like when no one's around and I hear the birds in the morning, it's beautiful, and just the scent of the dew, and I see the dew on the grass. I'm like, oh gosh, like you created manna, like this actually happened like thousands of years ago. Like, anyways, the word like manna, still pieces like dew. So I'm enjoying my time with him, and then suddenly when someone walks by, every time I get distracted. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get a little goosebumps, like what if they like, and then the other part of my spirit's like, what are you doing? I mean, you're talking with God. And then this one time, and I'm kind of proud of myself, not in a prideful way, but I'm just trying to encourage myself. One time, I imagined for a split moment, as that kind of nervousness was like my heart, I could feel my heart beating as I heard like footsteps of a jogger passing by, and I'm kneeling down in public in the morning, right? And a jogger's passing by. For a split second, I just imagine, what if that was Jesus? It could happen. What if Jesus, he got on his Adidas's, and he's jogging by in the morning? It could happen. I don't know what kind of shoes he likes, but it could happen. And I imagine he's jogging by, and then he pauses, and he stops while I'm praying, and he puts his hand on my shoulder and says, hey, good job, man. Good job that you didn't feel all nervousy and all like weirdish and all. Good job that you still prayed to me. And then he just walked and he continued to jog by. What if that happened? And in that split moment, I was not ashamed, or I was not embarrassed, or I was not nervous. I was like, yeah, absolutely, Jesus, you can do that. I'm doing what your word says. Like, you went to a desolate place and you prayed. I can do that. I don't have to be like all like goosebumpy about it just because some people are walking by. In fact, I should say hi. I should say, hey, did you read the word for today? Hey, not like all crazy and stuff, but I should be comfortable. Like, this is like a normal thing. Like, people read the newspaper out in public, sitting on a bench. Why can I not kneel on a cement and pray to my God who's actually alive? The gospel. This Jesus who's actually alive. And Jesus didn't stop there. If you look in Mark chapter 6, after the crowds were dismissed, I love this. It's like after a huge event happened, he went and he prayed. And then one of his last moments on earth, in the garden, if you look at Luke 22, it says he prayed more earnestly. Guys, Jesus prayed all the time. You guys, look up here. Look up here for a second. Look up here. Look up here. David? Look up here. Say pray. Say Jesus prayed all the time. Say I can pray all the time. You guys, the gospel. Yeah, that backbone, that framework we see in Luke 24. We saw a little in Proverbs. We saw Deuteronomy last week. And now we see here in 1 Kings 8. That framework of repentance and forgiveness. That's the backbone of the gospel, right? If we turning back. If we turn back, right? And there's a living person that offers forgiveness. But then there's this like in-between part called acknowledging it. Called like actually obeying and doing what he says, like reading this book, like, all right, God, like, what do I need to do? Not just be a good person, like, I'm going to do what you told me to say. Obey me. And then today, we see just all throughout this chapter 8, talking and listening. I want to please you. Beg you. I'm saying, I'm begging you. Try this. It's not a challenge. Challenge is something that's hard. This is not hard. We talk and we listen using this gosh darn gadget all the time. And we just don't spend enough time actually talking to this living God and His Son Jesus and actually listening to Him. A little kid, one time I was preaching to a bunch of kids, and this girl named Lily, she told me one time, talking to God is not imaginary. It's not an imaginary act. You're just talking to an invisible person. I was like, that's right. It's not an imaginary act. It's not like a figment of your imagination talking to a little God. I beg you, try it. Try talking to Him, praying, listening to Him, and see how He responds. Let's take some time right now, as I invite up Mr. Jasper, to talk with Him, to pray to Him. I'm sure there's so much going on in your life right now. There's so much you can talk to Him about. Just tell Him, God, you're a God that watches. You listen, you see, you have control. This stuff is bugging me right now. Either this person, this situation, this worry right now. Go ahead and close your eyes. Bow your head. Give God the respect, acknowledge Him. Pray to Him. Talk to Him right now. And you can take time to listen. So many times we're just blabbing away, using the same phrases in our prayers. If He's a real person, we'll take time to listen.